That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to do. It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. The internet's best midlife crisis. Oh wow, that stopped abruptly. I've got some reverb on my voice. Welcome to the F-hole on YouTube. It's qualitatively different, I guess. Is it the same F-hole? Is it a different F-hole? Violins have two of them. I mean, one's technically an S, but nobody says S-hole. For obvious reasons. And I'm going to try to take this awesome verb off my voice. It looked like there are a few of you in the chat. Amongst YouTube's many useful features, I can see my chat, which I have a problem doing just generally. That's not really anybody's fault but mine now. Oh, I have my own reverb on this channel. It's one I designed for Henrietta. In fact, I'm using Henrietta's, looks like her entire chain. I'm using a tube preamp and her EQs and a formant shifter, and yeah, so this is Henrietta's effects. I guess we have a similar voice because she kind of puts me in the radio pocket. So let's see if anybody can hear me. It's the game we like to play on the F-hole called Can Anybody Hear Me? Can anybody hear me who's in the chat, who can say that they've heard me? Can anybody hear me? Hey, Chasen. Nice. Schedule some trucks and trailers. I could use a truck and a trailer. I hope that you can hear me. So this is the first test. It's the first time I've streamed on YouTube. Hang on, I'm trying to send some people the link here. I'm having a hard time sending a link as well to the show to people. So let's see. Let's see, I'm just trying to find where I share my YouTube link. I guess I'll just share a video, but it won't let me share the live one. Interesting. Oh, wow, I'm got really low latency. That's fantastic. Trying to figure out how to share the dang video. Let's see, am I going to share how my video is? I'm going to share a different video. God, why is this hard? Share, there we go. I found the share button. Wow, I'm not used to so little latency. That's kind of cool. And I'll share this to somebody else too. This is what I do. I get on the internet and talk on the phone, or check my checks, my checks and balances, my emails and my chats. I've developed a stutter during the pandemic. I had one as a child, and it seems to have come back. It's kind of interesting. I missed it. I kind of missed my stutter. I stuttered bad until I was about 7th grade, and then a teacher in Mondays Mill Junior High School, Mrs. Long, said, "You know, you have a stutter and a lisp." And I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah, we can fix that." And so at her suggestion, I took the drama class in the 8th grade. And I did find very quickly when I was speaking using a voice with an accent or as somebody else, I didn't stutter. So I would take on an affectation and I could speak clearly, and it was pretty cool. And these days, I guess I'm even the affectation stutter, but hey, cheers. So this is technically season 3 of Enter the F-hole. We've done almost 30 episodes, maybe more. Yeah, 30, 31, 32 episodes of Enter the F-hole since we started this thing up back in August or September of last year. I'll be pulling the reruns from Twitch and putting them on YouTube. There's no real big drama. It's just Angel was shutting down the Night Vision Live channel, and he's the one who was asking me to host my streams on it. And I just thought I'd try YouTube because it seemed like I did a test stream a couple of weeks ago. Chasen, you were there. And I was like, wow, more people showed up for me just popping on YouTube because I guess, I'm worked into the algorithm here. Plus, wow, this latency is really, really good compared to Twitch. I mean, I was used to you guys hearing me like 20 minutes in the past. Although I loved being far in the future, I think this is a little bit easier. As is customary, I think I'm going to play a little music for you guys. I've been had a really great day today. Simply because I played my first gig Really, my third gig since the pandemic started. But in the depths of the isolation and the pandemic, I played one funeral and one wedding, and both of those were really really uncomfortable affairs. And that's pretty much been it for live gigs. That's why I started doing Enter the F Hole, to kind of keep in the routine of what I've been doing my entire life. So today I had a gig playing at a restaurant, for Sunday brunch. Nothing special, the kind of thing I've done my whole life, but and then it was a particularly crappy one. I normally wouldn't play. I normally wouldn't play for little money, actually no money almost, and but I really felt I needed to get back out there and remember what the hell I was doing, and sit somewhere and play the violin, and have an audience, a live audience of random strangers, and Atlas Wolf was able to come out and join me, so we got to jam, and it was really fun. So, but I gotta say, it really lent a much needed sense of normalcy to my life. I felt just so much more in my element than I felt in a long time, which is, basically standing on the side of a road in this case, because their patio was their parking lot. And whenever you play a gig like this, there's always funny stories, so I'll put them in a nutshell. A 94-year-old man requested we play something lively. Then he smiled and nodded, gave us $5, got in his car, and nearly backed over Dennis and I. Like literally nearly backed over us, like inches. And about 30 seconds after that, a Harley Davidson came down the sidewalk at about 30 or 40 miles an hour, like going bats out of hell, and nearly wiped me out. I nearly got hit by a car and a motorcycle within like a minute of each other. It's kind of fascinating. We were also in front of a sort of a little place on Carroll Street where my view was mostly a never-ending traffic jam, where a one-way street would have cars coming up it, and then the cars would have to back up one way or the other. And there would always be this kind of match of wills, like who's going to back out of the way. And so there was always the potential for exciting road rage happening in front of us. One of the better milieus for playing. I really like to look at things when I play, because I'm a very ADD, and I like to kind of key into the environment. There was also a great mockingbird today. I love it when I'm playing near a mockingbird. They get really upset at me. They start like showing off, and they play their best songs. So I go back and forth with the mockingbirds all I could. Like an idiot, I did not bring and record. I'd bring my recorder and record it, because it was actually better than I thought it would be. A pretty good set. I have the Giuseppe Dall'Aglio all set up to play, so then she's all warmed up after playing today. Sounds magnificent, so I'll be whipping her out and playing later. She's still here for an indeterminate amount of time. Could be gone any second now, but for those of you who don't know, that's an old Italian violin that was made during a smallpox epidemic in Mantua in Italy in the early 1800s, and she's right here in my hands right now as a consignment for a brief period of time. So it was really great to play such a magnificent instrument in the sunshine, where I have this wonderful sunburn on my forehead. That's not my dramatic lighting in the F-hole, which is just as crappy as it ever is, but check this out. I've got the sound activated light. It's the only one it'll stay stable on, so if I make a loud noise, oh man, not loud enough. My light will change. Just there we go. I can just stomp on the floor and my light will change. How cool is that? Yeah, red. What's that? What other colors do we have? Oh man, we just have 3 colors. I'm gonna go with blue, because I think blue makes me look really smurfy. And so I'm gonna play a little piece of music for you. I've got a template pulled up I was using for my voice here, and it's got some bits of samples in it from last week. My good friend Shane Garner had dropped by, and I think he was talking into the box a little bit and gave me a great sample to play with. I've got last week's Tambora playing by Maldorora, and a few other things in this template. Let's hope it's not anything too stupid, because there sure is a lot of it. We got this could be very interesting. Let's see what I've got. So I'm going to play a little music for you. If you're new to the F-hole, and you might not know, during the pandemic I started doing a lot of electronic music. Actually, I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years, but I just started actually performing a little bit of it for people on this show, because it's a little bit irreverent all over the place, so why not? It's not my comfort zone, and it's not what you would expect from me, but I really have a great time doing it. And now I'm learning to integrate it with what I've been doing my entire life, which I guess if I'm ever known for anything, it'll be that. I'm one of the lucky few who, when they die, their obituary will say something they agree with, because I think it's always really shitty when somebody dies. Sarah and I were talking about this recently. The first thing they'll say is like your occupation, and that's fine for me, because my occupation is really what I'm obsessed with. It's a good way of summing up who I am. But that doesn't make me any more special than the person who's listed as pizza delivery driver, or Paul Mercer hails from Atlanta, Georgia. He was a sales associate at Whitman's department store, shoe department. Not that I'd be ashamed to be called that, but it just seems like a really callous way to sum up somebody's life. At least they let on that I'm violent. Violins. I had violins in my life. I never get tired of puns. Brevity's the soul of wit. And I'll call this song Leftovers from Last Week and Brand New F-Hole. Meet the new F-Hole, same as the old F-Hole, I guess. I got some positive feedback on this, on the Dancing Hands cam, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it. Not that my push-to technique is extremely gymnastic or anything. It's just, I think it's more fun to watch my hands than my stupid faces. I make some dumb faces when I'm playing. It's mostly me squinting at the screen, my 40-inch TV screen that I still can't see. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Now I'm in the process of trying to make somebody appear on this like a dance floor, because I think that would be cool, and so if you've got any ideas, anything you'd like to see content-wise on the F-Hole, let me know. We've had some great interviews over the past 2 seasons, really epic stuff. D Master J, Monica Richards, come to mind, Kate Catalina. Without further ado, here's my first piece of whatever the hell for the night. If you're still tuned in, thank you for watching the F-Hole. Wait, gotta say it right. You're tuned in to the one and only. Oh man, why does this take longer every time? F-Hole. You're in the F-Hole with Paul Mercer. Welcome to the F-Hole. Please stay tuned for another exciting episode of the F-Hole. check. Oh, I'm coming back to my microphone now. My roots, which are the microphone. So that was a bit meandering. I've been playing all day long, playing the violin. So it's like Damon will remember this. Get my special cameraman back in position. When the changelings would rehearse, we'd be writing a song. We'd do these never-ending. Oh, hey there, Sean. Hey, aggressively relaxing. Hey, Vienna. Hey, hey, Robin. Hey, Robin. Oh my God, look at this. This is like an all-time super all-star cast. So we would be jamming on a song, or right, what we called it jellying, I think, and we were trying to make music, and we would get to the end of this song, and we'd be trying to exhort all of our ideas and play through all these different incarnations of it, and we'd get to the end, and everybody would start adding a note, like right after somebody sounded like they were finished, somebody else would do it. It became what we called the last note contest, which is like basically the song sounds like it's ending for half an hour, and just as you think it's getting to the end, somebody else jumps in and tries to do an even more ridiculous ending. That's what that song felt like. But it's not an ending; it's a beginning here on the new YouTube. Let me find it. Where's that button? Got to get that magic button. See, one of these days I'm going to have just a hired person who just presses the F-hole button when it's time to say the new and improved YouTube F-hole. Oh, see? And then also turn up my my aux send. F-hole. Welcome to the F-hole. Where we're going to turn up this and we're going to make the delays go really good. It's going to be great. We're going to do this in the F-hole. The F-hole. If you have an F-hole, you can have an S-hole. S-hole is F-hole backward. Do I hear a 25, 50, 55, 70, 75, 75? Sold to Robin Davis for the color green. Yeah. So that's what happens when I open my mouth. Let's see. I made a movie. I made some more weird movies this week. I think I'm very proud of. I now can make sort of these lumpy spheres that roll around inside my special custom landscapes. Maybe I'll play one behind me so it can appear ghostly behind my face. I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, I like it. I'm going to look at my chat and see if anybody has any questions or comments. How's my bombing? Yeah. That's what I think I've got a lot more. I've got a lot less latency. In fact, I'm watching YouTube right now, and I just put down this drink that I just put down a second ago. It's so strange being in the present with you guys. It's like you're going to catch up to me, and then I won't be able to boggle your minds with being in the future. I've decided that the Shure SM58 is just the best way to do this, because then I don't have to wear headphones, and my ears don't sweat, which is sweating ears is really gross. Why do ears sweat? It's not like they aren't already too hot. And it's not going to cool them off, I don't think. I'm sure there's a great reason why ears sweat. It's probably something to do with why doves cry or something like that. So I'm gonna pull up one of my special little movies that I made, and make sure I turn down the sound because I just throw all kinds of random crap in the sound. And tell me what you think of my special movie. This is still footage of Sarah sitting in a chair, but I keep manipulating it to make it look weirder and weirder. And I think I have enough special effects to tell a really crude story as long as I stick to the special effects I have, which are growing a little bit every day. Let's see if I can find what I just had up here. Here we go. In this case, the special effects are not very special, but they're pretty special. Let's see. I think it's called WTF 5959. Anybody remember that song in the year 5959? It's another one of those. I guess what would you say? Dystopian future rock and roll songs from the 70s. Kind of comes with I'd put it in a category with Children of the Sun and Blue Oyster Cult. What is it? What's the name of that song? It's Standing Here, the Veteran of 100 Psychic Wars. It's like that. In the year 5959. It's not helping me find my movie. I hope a little OLLIE is great. Aggressively relaxing because I was worried. Uh, I know Amanda came by today. Du- 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 du. You know what I don't do very well? I mean, lots of things, of course, but the I don't name things very well in my files because I don't see very good at night. And if I'm rendering a file or I'm making something, can't see the numbers or the letters on the keyboard. So a lot of times it's just sort of a balled up fist on the keyboard because I'm sure it'll be a different string of numbers and characters than the last one. It doesn't lead to the most efficient. Okay, here we go. The most efficient use of naming. Whoa, that looks pretty cool. Okay. See if I can get it on my screen. Then I can be inside my new movie. I'm going to be starring in it, and I think that's going to be cool. I'm, and I think you'll think that it's cool because I think it's cool. What are they? What do they call them? Taste makers. Taste makers are, I think, just aren't they? Aren't taste makers like flavonoids? Does anybody know what a flavonoid is? I think they make flavor. It seems like they make flavor, but it's too clear. It's too clearly that they're involved in flavor. They must do something else, like an amino acid that makes your hair fall out or something. Okay, window capture. That's what I want. Oh, that's capturing Ghost of Saltmarsh in Roll20. In D&D news this week, the new replacement adventuring party is almost high enough level to join Hywell Perimeter and Gorgar, the last remaining Ghost of Saltmarsh, on their perilous quest to install Gorgar as the new true Lizard King and stop the sinister forces of whatever the hell is going on in that swamp. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I am so blessed and happy to be able to play it again. I thought those days had long been behind me because I'm a snob about who I will play with and the quality of game I want to be in. I'm sure too darn lazy to run one these days. I got too many things, and gosh, boy, am I happy to play. I played Dungeons and Dragons weekly for a year. That's life changing. That's like better than joining a cult. Anybody been in the Dungeons and Dragons cult? Are there Dungeons and Dragons cults? There has to be at least one. There's cults for like lamer things. Okay, this is going to be good. So, this movie's not really going to be worth the build-up, but I think you guys will dig it. What can I use this special effect for is my question for you. So this is just some random footage that I've been processing stuff with, and I've learned to make this kind of chunky-looking claymation sort of style of making light kind of solidify. So this is just a more of a sort of exhibition of funny techniques, and the color matching's all off all over the place. But tell me if you've got an idea for something that could use these limited special effects, as you will see behind me as I play this delightful piece of media in OBS, no less. See. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, this looks good. Yeah. There it is. I'm inside my own movie. Look at that. I'm coming at you from the F-hole. This is the F-hole right here. I'm showing you the F-hole. So this is my very special spiral apparatus thing. I don't know. It's a blobulus. I'll call it a blobulor. See, it's a very blobulated blobulor doing a bunch of cool stuff. That's a soundtrack of chaos noise I made behind it, but it's kind of annoying, so I'll turn it down. Sort of like a twisted little circus thing. Everybody loves a little crazy circus noise. So what do you think? What do you think? Do I look like I belong here? Can we make this into an alien egg or, the capsule of a spaceship? I can make a round thing and make lights come out of it, and it's all squirmy, and I think that's enough of a gag right there for a scene. I'm talking low rent. I'm talking El Mariachi, not Antonio Banderas one. If nothing else, I think I'm going to use it in Dribble's Christmas special, because I'm working on some new material for that. Because who doesn't want Dribble back? Oh, hey there, Jenny. How are you? How did it feel to play in public against who? In? Oh, it felt good. It felt good. I was going over that at the beginning of the episode. It was a really wonderful day, just for that reason. Crap, not a very good gig, and I almost got run over twice. But it was so great playing with Atlas Wolf and just being in my element, doing that thing I've been doing forever. Um, Here's another one of our high tech special effects. Here, I can kind of make things dissolve in blinking lights. That's definitely in the wheelhouse. Now we have a story we can tell with a sort of a ball, shiny ball thing that embeds itself in stuff in blinky lights, and this is multi Sarah. We can also make multi Sarahs. She turns into sort of conical hat multi Sarahs too. They're kind of like Christmas tree monster people, shamans. Yeah, I'm just trying to, you got to work with what you've got. I want to make an ominous soundtrack for myself while I talk. So I was thinking about this movie, and it was really scary. What app am I using? Oh, I'm using DaVinci Resolve. I use DaVinci Resolve free to make that footage do that. It's pretty cool software. It's kind of a beast on your computer, but everybody told me it wouldn't run on mine, and it runs fine. So it's a free. This is a free version. They have a paid version, but mostly DaVinci Resolve is used by these big film companies who do these. They have big consoles. I guess they used to use it. Kind of like mixing consoles for audio. They do audio equipment too, but they sell the consoles and the training to use them and all that. So the software is kind of it's not incidental. It's the big flagship product, but they're more interested in people knowing how to use it than they are getting paid for the software itself. So you can get a free copy of it that does this stuff, and then there's the paid one. I mean, then you can get it for like $300, and it does even more. But in general, most of the features are free. They're just there's a shortage of people who know how to use it, so I think they need it. It's an in-demand software skill set as well. But no, there you go. There's a sparkly orb. I can make a sparkly globulous orb, and that's probably useful for making a sparkly globulous thing in your movies. So just somebody send me a script. It can have look at that guy. It's kind of like a cyber cat. See, we can make a cybernetic Darth Vader cat inside of our globulous orb, inside of our movie with the multi-Sarah shaman, and I think that's a plot right there. Can't be. We could put Nicolas Cage in it. Ah, yeah, and you guys can cry mercy anytime you want on my movie, but I'm not going to stop it because I'm going to make some scary music for it. Oh, it's so scary. I've also figured out how to make the camera go into a sort of a low rent matrix where you see the attempts of the software to kind of render a different color or a transition. So it ends up looking like electronic hieroglyphics, basically on a bunch of claymation. If I recall correctly, I'm not sure if it's in this render or the next one I'll show you because I'm very proud of my globulous renders here. I'm on my way to a really bad special effects sequence inside of a 15-minute short film, probably starring Dribble. Oh, I've got some laughter sound effects I made this week too. I'm sure Maldorora and D Master J would love to hear them because I played them incessantly the other night. I do find, Jenny, that this is kind of sorceress being able to play with light like this. I didn't realize that um, using a rendering software like this that you can kind of give light value and weight. Basically, you can assign like the color red a certain amount of texture, and then things will stick to those textures. You can use the amount of luminance to create a sort of a pseudo 3D map and stretch things over it and blend things together. I'm pretty obsessed with trying to make everything grow scales or like blob together because I'm eager to get to the hey, look at that. So um, that's actually light that's over there. That's behind Sarah that turns into those silver kind of blade looking things. That's kind of what it does with the spare light blinking off the wall. Now Sarah's got she's got like she's kind of like a giant with three eyeballs. I don't know why I keep turning Sarah into a funny monster, but it's really cool. Um, so yeah, anybody want some violin? I'm gonna keep the show short tonight because well, it's my first time on YouTube and I want to see what it looks like. As stream seems to be working pretty good. We have about the same number of viewers currently. Uh, Average watch time is 5 minutes and 55 seconds, which means I'm boring the heck out of you guys. YouTube's giving me stats. That's great. And yeah, it seems to be stably working, kind of. I shouldn't be humming. I should be playing. Oh, I'm going to hum into my microphone. Where's Shane Garner's brilliant voice? He left me with a sample of the Lady of the Lake talking in the movie Excalibur, which I found fun. Got too many things open on my desktop, and I don't know which is which. Let's see. Oh, we have some tempura, maybe. Let's see. This should be Maldorora playing the tempura. Yeah, that's Maldorora playing tempura. I think I'm going to go with that. I think I'm going to now descend into my own silly little movies and play on top of Maldorora's tempura from last week and send you guys off with some music on this Giuseppe Delaglio violin I was playing today. Mantua, Italy. She was made at the end of a smallpox epidemic with a really grim outcome in northern Italy at the time. See, there was a smallpox epidemic, and it was during a siege of the city of Mantua, which is on an island in the middle of a river connected by 3 bridges, and the Holy Roman Empire, the German League, had teamed up with Mantua's rival city-state. I can't remember if it was Naples or where, and so the city was under siege for like 2 years, and what ended up happening was the Holy Roman Empire brought smallpox accidentally, and it wiped out the army pretty much, or it weakened them so much they had to retreat. And when they retreated, unfortunately, that was when the smallpox struck the city of Mantua, because they had been protected from it by the siege. And then they had an early form of inoculation, which involved pricking the pustulent blisters of a child with cowpox, I believe, and then they would scratch the skin and rub the pus into the skin of another person, and believe it or not, it worked against smallpox kind of effectively. If you don't, as was in the case of Mantua at this time, pick the child of a woman who had syphilis, so everybody who got the inoculation got syphilis. Not the right thing to talk about right now, because I have my vaccine and I don't have syphilis. So here's to that. But this violin right over here behind me, I was playing in the hot sun today, like baking my forehead, was made by the last of the Cremonese makers, where Cremonese School of Makers was alive in Mantua at that time. I don't know if he died of smallpox or how far he outlived this violin, but he's the last of his type. The northern Italy got so bad after that nobody made a violin in this style really ever again after him. The next time violins were made in Mantua and surrounding area, Cremona and so forth, were almost a full century later, 70 or so years later, and they weren't made on the same design or pattern. They were Austrian style, and so the whole school died out. So I'm going to go get the last of the 8 interceptors and ride this tempura into a new and better FO. I'll put on another cool movie for you while I'm grabbing this fiddle. Let's see. Once again, this is mostly circular, blobulous things, but I think they're cool looking. This one all goes into the inner space of my computer. It's kind of like my low-rent Tron. If you've got a use for these special effects, let me know. I can make your I can make your awesome plot go into the center of a low-rent claymation Tron anytime. Because that's where all the movies are headed anyway. Here I am partially inside of this blobulon. That's the plot. I'll just call them blobulons, and they'll be invading. You know, actually, they're not invading. They're just here to pick up their Bitcoin. I still believe Bitcoin is a virus that was picked up by SETI. You know, and it was like some intergalactic code, and it's like discount codes for pizzas in Cygnus 7 or something. It's an evolving conspiracy theory. It's kind of like the Q stuff. Maldoror and I were talking the other night, and I think we decided, it had to involve more than just computer code. It's got to involve aliens, and not just aliens, but alien, restaurants. Now tune Miss Delaglio and Ms. Delaglio up. We're going to need some more gain, and Henrietta's reverb back over. That's a lot of reverb. Oh. Maybe a little less. I know you like it, Henrietta, but that's wet. It's wet by your standards. So I got to whoa, take some delay off the top. So I got to teach Atlas Wolf a little bit of a new raga today that he doesn't know. Some ragas, I got so much verb. That's a verb too. Sorry, guys. Some ragas are a style of music that I studied. There's some you just like here's the notes, here's how you do it. you teach them. And then there's various layers of superstition. So, but there's some that you want to teach. Like the idea is you've got to expose somebody to it at the right time, in the right environment for them to get it. It's very cosmic hippie kind of thing. But today was a perfect day to lay out Bhairavi because it's mid-afternoon raga and it's got a kind of a hard to capture essence, I guess. It's and kudos to my badass friend Atlas Wolf. You know, he just got it immediately, got the feeling of it. So I don't think I'm playing Bhairavi. I'm not sure what's coming out here. It might not even be a raga, but let's see what happens. Here we go. This is yeah, it's whatever it is. Wow, oh, look at that. I'm inside of a big waxy thing. It goes right over my face. Cool. That looks cool. Though, I mean, I'm going into Tron Land. That's the last stop to Tron Land. It's not very tempore-ish. And down here, we actually need some, Tron Land sounds more like this. So you have to make a quick stride diversion with the... This is goodbye. I'll be leaving you all for the digital realms forever. I want you all to know that as much as I enjoyed your planet, they're calling to me inside of a TSR-80. It was left at Radio Shack in 1986. And I just made all your speakers peak out. This is called deafening people. It's what musicians do. Many apologies. Just try to play D&D with me if you want to be deaf. All right, I'm going to play some music and shut up. Shut up, Paul. Shut up. Check. Checking. Savings and loans. Checking savings and loans. Oh, that's cavernous. That's the studio owner outside. Grindle, and this is Grindle House Studios. He runs the business part of the arrangement, and right now he's saying it's time to feed Grindle. So I'm going to check my chat one more time and bid you all a good evening, a good day, a good better tomorrow, because hey, yesterdays are gone. So on that note, tune in, I think, next week here. Please drop me a comment in the in the here, or send me a message, or contact me some way and let me know if you like this better, or if you like Twitch better, or if it doesn't matter to you. I'll see how overall the the algorithms treat me, but this seemed as easy or easier on my end. Hey, look, I'm stuck in the Matrix, coming at you live in the Matrix. If Antonio, if you're still here, that is the coolest comment anybody's ever said. It's cool, but makes me feel weird. I have to stop so I don't pass out. Thanks for the show. That is going in my bio, because that is awesome in so many ways. Thank you all for listening and following me on this little weird migration. Next week, tune in, and there'll be something else. Cheers. Oh, Grindle's angry. He's very angry with me. I better play some music to get you on the way out of, wait for it, the F-hole. The F-hole. The F-hole. You've been watching the F-hole with Paul Mercer. And he's in the F-hole. That's in the middle of the F-hole. That makes a sound post, wouldn't it? Well, that's what they get a lot of stuff. There's 72 pieces of wood that make up a violin. 72 pieces of wood, along with or resins and glues and varnishes, and that's all the F-hole for this week. F-hole. As soon as I find the off button on OBS. Good night.